Look, I can't help but think that now might be a good time for a little fire and ice.
Do not know it's never a good time for fire and ice.
What happens when you mix fire and ice?
Warm water, baby.
It's bubbling, baby. Warm water! Warm water!
It is a Saturday afternoon. It's noon here in El Paso, and that means one thing, and one thing only, brothers. It is time for Fire and Ice. I just went full Hulk Hogan there. I don't know why.
You did. I was like,
But
that sounds like a
I just
wrestler.
had to go right into it.
But are you kidding? That's great. Now we get to talk about professional wrestling.
Hey, I mean, I'm down with it, brother. We can talk about wrestling all day long. Okay, we are live over here, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso, Buffalo Wild Wings. Brandon, our favorite thing is back, the ultimate apps. Tell everybody about
This is
it.
a great shtick. This is the shtick of all shticks. $9.99 bottomless appetizers, starting with 2. Then you add them $3, $2.99 for persons over 4. You get mozzarella sticks, onion rings, fried pickles, hatch queso, chips and salsa. Then if you want to go premium, $12.99, you can add cheese curds and chips and guacamole, $3.49 per person over 4. How about this, guys? Happy hour, late night, Monday through Friday. You have 3 to 6 p.m., then 9 to 11, $2 off all drafts, $6 appetizers, $3 shorty shots, $2 off signature cocktails. But you and I, we enjoy this bottomless apps shtick.
The Bottomless Apps Ultimate Sampler is back as well. And, of course, you know, they got that Boozy Dunkin Cold Brew. I tried it a couple of times. I like it. You know me, I love me some coffee, need me some coffee in order to get my day going and all that good stuff. Come on out here. Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive. What do you have? There's no downside.
No.
None whatsoever.
No,
You can
not
even
at all.
join the rewards program, bank 7,000 points like I have.
Yes,
I can get now, Brandon,
I'm ready for this.
over 50 wings for free with just all of the stuff that I have that I've banked on this. And then also add in a couple of little desserts and things like that. We saw the cookie skillet last
It
week.
was good.
A couple of big fat guys getting cookie skillets. It was a good time.
They didn't have to try to convince us very difficult there. It wasn't
Yeah,
a hard
wasn't.
sale. And then, of course, some wings, man. Some wings sound good today. They have great wings here, don't they?
They have some of the best wings in El Paso. I will stand on that. I know people are going to be like, Tip, why not go to, a smaller business or something of that nature? No, I love it here. These are the best wings in El Paso. I will stand on that.
They're good.
The mango habanero wings they have here are fantastic. But, Brandon,
Yes.
yes, we have to shill for them a little bit. It's part of the business, brother. It's just how it works. Have you been watching the NBA playoffs?
Yes, I have dabbled actually this week. In
Dabbled?
your honor, I have
Wow.
watched, some NBA playoff basketball. I'm enjoying the second round thus far. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. And, I mean, it's been intense, to say the least. So, yes, I have been watching it this week.
My San Antonio Spurs on Monday lose game 1 in a very heartbreaking fashion. And I said this over the last couple of weeks. I'm going to break it into people's brains ad nauseum with it. I feel like this team is young. They're going to make young team mistakes, which is exactly what they did on Monday. Get a rebound after you hold a team to not make a shot. Get a rebound down by 2. And instead of calling timeout, which they had, and this goes on Mitch Johnson, the head coach as well, instead of calling the timeout and advancing the ball to half court, it took them 4 seconds to slow dribble up the court, pass to Julian Champagny. Champagny makes a move, gets an open 3, but he's falling away on the 3, hits the front end of the iron. Spurs lose that game.
Yes.
Call a timeout,
Tough.
get the ball at half court, draw up a play, run something where you can get a better, higher percentage shot. And also remember, you don't need the 3 at that point. Get the 2, go to overtime, and whatever happens in overtime happens in overtime. That, to me, is the way that you've got to approach it whenever you're a young team like the San Antonio Spurs. But then you see they are a team that will bounce back and beat the brakes off you.
Oh, yes,
like
they
they did
will.
to the Minnesota Timberwolves the next game, winning that one by 38 points, and it wasn't even that close. Those 38 points, it wasn't that close. They could have won by 50 if they hadn't sat the entire team with 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and that's good sportsmanship to do that.
No, you step on their epic throat.
Well,
This
I
is
mean,
the
you can look
playoffs.
at it from 2 different perspectives and different coaching styles. We know what Pop would have done, right?
Yeah.
But, ultimately, so far they've asserted their dominance. As you noted, they should be up 3-0, but they're up 2-1, and they've shown why they should be the favorites in the series and why they're going to probably win the series. Look, I mean, talk about getting outmatched, and that's exactly what you're seeing at this particular moment. I believe 4-1 is going to be the series final in this one. I do.
I want to say
I do.
that, but Minnesota's a good team, man. And Augustine was arguing with me about this yesterday on the tipping point. saying that Minnesota is not the team that they were last year, but they have basically the entire quarterback. They might not have Dante DiVincenzo. Dante DiVincenzo isn't like the number one guy on that team, right? You still have Rudy Gobert. You still have Anthony Edwards. You still have Nas Reed. You got McDaniel. They've got a team there of dudes that can play ball, and they made it to the Western Conference Final. Saying that they're going to lose 4-1 feels disrespectful to me. I think it could be 4-2. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes 7. It all depends on what happens in the next game whenever they play in Minnesota. What version of the Minnesota Timberwolves are we going to get? They had a slow start yesterday and ultimately weren't able to narrow the gap with the Spurs. The Spurs basically had a comfortable 9-point lead throughout the entire game. What version of Minnesota is going to come out? Because you cannot come out lackluster against the San Antonio Spurs.
You can't. And obviously there's that sense of urgency knowing that they should be up 3-0. And ultimately, you're going back home. It's obviously always a different situation once you go home and you have your own fans and you're in the comfort of your own bed, sleeping in your own beds and whatever. So you're going to see a different T-Wolves team. But still, I mean, again, the best team always wins. And clearly, to me, the best team is the San Antonio Spurs, despite their youth. And their youth could kick him in the arse. No doubt about that. But, when it's all said and done, I still think it'll be a closer game, a more competitive game in Game 4. But I still got Minnesota. The Spurs rather winning in Minnesota, don't you know?
From your mouth to God's ears, but you know me, I am a basketball nerd, a basketball purist, and I know you don't just win a championship your first time there. If the Spurs could somehow find a way to make it to the NBA Finals, that's awesome. And I look at this season already as a Spurs fan. Maybe I shouldn't, but I look at this as a win, right? You win one round in the playoffs after not being in the playoffs for 7 years. The longest stretch in the history of the San Antonio Spurs, missing the playoffs. You make it to the playoffs, you win a round. Maybe you make it to the Western Conference Finals. Right now, they're playing with house money. There's no pressure on them at all. There's pressure on the Lakers, right? It's LeBron James's last year. Maybe you got to do something with him. There's pressure on OKC. You get all the calls. You got the free throw merchant and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander out there doing his thing. You're the defending champ. You got to go out there and do your stuff. People want the Knicks to win. People, Minnesota, the next step generally when you make the Western Conference Final is making it to the NBA Final.
Absolutely.
There's pressure on all of these teams except for San Antonio.
Sure. Yes, because you are so young and you're not expected to go all the way, which to me, playing pressure-free basketball is the absolute best way to play because everything from here on in is a win. It really is. And if you look at what they've accomplished thus far, like you noted, winning 30 of their last 34, if memory serves, that momentum is absolutely tremendous. And I mean, they have really rallied around Wembanyama. They really have, and they have a great supporting cast, and that's exactly why, to me, they're a championship contender. And I know it's hard for you to say that because you're very weary. Understandably so.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got to believe, you got to have faith.
And again, I'm happy. Again, I'm in the rare position as a Spurs fan to know that I'm playing with house money right now. That team has nothing to prove to me. They've gone above and beyond. They made it to the playoffs. They've done their thing. I guess where my weariness comes from is if they get OKC, if both of them advance in the next round, Oklahoma City is the defending champion. I know San Antonio won 4 out of 5 against Oklahoma City this year. That's the regular season. Whenever you got to face a team 7 times in a row, potentially, it's so hard to beat them 4 out of those 7. That's what makes the NBA playoffs so much more fun. Oklahoma City, to me, is the one team that can throw a wrench into what San Antonio has.
No doubt.
Because they match up with San Antonio so well.
They do. And we all know that the regular season is so irrelevant. It doesn't matter how much dominated, one organization was dominated over another one. But, yes, I mean, I agree, and that's to be determined. But if I had to pick it right now, I clearly feel that it's going to be San Antonio and OKC in the conference finals. And then, of course, you see what happens. I mean, at least it has to give you the faith knowing that you won the majority of the regular season games, Again, yes, it doesn't mean shit, whatever you could say and argue. But, again, you're playing the defending champs who have every right to be there. And imagine if you can actually knock them off.
Man,
that would be great.
That would be fantastic. If, again, huge if, big caveat there, both
Sure.
teams need to make it into the next round. Now, let's talk about that Oklahoma City Thunder team because they have been absolutely dominating LeBron James and what seem to be the helpless Lakers right now. They've won both games in the series so far. OKC is up 2-0 by 18 points. Like, each game has been won by 18 points. The spread has been 15.5 points. Vegas knows what they're doing. The very first game I said, hammer that the Lakers can cover that spread because I can't see them losing by that much. The next game I said, do not bet on the Lakers to cover the spread at all because they are just outmanned and outgunned by OKC. I get that LeBron James is one of the best to ever do it, if not the best to ever do it. Is there any way that this Lakers team without Luka Doncic, and even if they get Luka, what version of Luka are you getting, that they can maybe come back from being 2-0?
I don't think so. And I say that because here's the thing. Even if they had Doncic, I still think OKC is the better team. And I do. Not to take anything away from the Lakers, but LeBron is great, even though he's older than dirt at this point. But obviously he's at the tail end of his career. And, if you had any shot in hell at all, it would be with Doncic there. Which to me, maybe you win a couple games, but you still probably lose 4-2. They just don't match up that well against OKC. And OKC is clearly the far superior, more experienced team from winning the championship last year. They're the hot team right now. You know what I mean? And that's what you really have to give them a lot of credit for, is being able to take care of business last year and be equally as good, if not better, this year. So I think I don't know if it's going to be a sweep. I say LA wins one game going back home. What do you think?
It's so hard to say it's going to be a sweep, but if not a sweep, it's going to be a gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, that's 4-1. Yeah,
either way, it's not a good look for the Lakers right now. And then you got to think about it this way, right? This is potentially the last year of LeBron James.
Right.
We don't know what next year is going to bring.
Right.
I cannot see him like this sitting well with him. Exiting this way. I believe he's a free agent after the season. Is there a team that's going to go out there and take a flyer on what's going to be an expensive season for LeBron James in his 24th year?
There is always going to be somebody interested. To throw out a few shekels, and maybe they're on the verge of winning a championship, and if they want to try to build a semi-super team. Because here's the thing. LeBron, even in year 24, is still very good. And the way he's been playing has been admirable and very impressive. I personally don't think he's going to retire this year. I think I definitely think he's going to leave the Lakers. I think he's going to say, you know what, I've had my moment. Yeah, he's going to leave the Lakers. There'll be someone out there that'll pay him and give him, what's he making, 25, 30 million a year right now?
But for a 43-year-old player
I'd be happy to take that.
It's not the first time we've seen something like that. Look at Pittsburgh picking up Aaron Rodgers, thinking the same thing.
But again, Aaron Rodgers is younger than LeBron James. That's the wild thing about it.
LeBron's a little long in the tooth, especially for basketball purposes. But no, there's definitely somebody that will take the chance. Like I said, it may be a team. You would think it'd be a team that's already a contender, but who knows? It may be a team that hasn't done shit in a long time and say, you know what, we got some decent young kids. Let's take LeBron and see what we can do, So
let's say this team, I'm just throwing teams out there that are on the cusp, right? Let's say San Antonio doesn't win a championship this year. They get unceremoniously bounced by OKC. Would LeBron fit on a team like San Antonio? Because I don't see that working.
I don't think so. The thing with LeBron is he needs to go to a team with not an established superstar like a Wembanyama, because I don't know that they would mesh together well. I think LeBron would best be suited with a team that doesn't have the absolute dominant stud. Maybe has some decent role players and some good NBA players, but not legends or anything like that at such a young age, like that Wembanyama kid.
LeBron thrives on being the role of the leader.
Yeah. So he doesn't want to take the back seat, So yeah, I don't see him going to San Antonio. And here's the thing: do they really need him?
That's what I mean.
Do they really need him?
At the beginning of the season, I was thinking, maybe San Antonio trades for Giannis because that would be fun.
Yeah.
But you're right. They've proven this young core that they have that's very affordable for them is a really good core of players to have.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
For me, I'm kind of leaning towards you. Look, you don't need to go out and get a LeBron. I think you do have to get somebody though. If again, caveat, and even if you do win, you still need to have that veteran presence there to keep your mind on what the ultimate goal is, which is if you win a championship, keep
getting better.
If you don't win the championship,
how do you get there?
The championship.
And the thing about, San Antonio is they're such a well-run, respectable organization. They've been that way for a long time, hence the reason why they've won 5 championships, and they are a legendary NBA organization. They're going to do what's necessary, upper management, to continue to build off of the success they've had this year thus far and make that team better and better.
What about a team like the Knicks with LeBron James on there? Do you think that there's a chance that the Knicks get it if they don't?
I don't see why not. I mean, the reason I say that is because, again, who wouldn't want to play in New York City? I mean, that was like Jordan's thing always. If he hadn't played for the Bulls, I mean, he would have loved to have played MSG as his home stadium. So, I mean, hell, why not? I mean, what does anybody have to lose at this point, including the organization and him? You know what I mean?
Is there anything left? And I know like the old head basketball players are going to say, yes, there is whenever I say this, but is there anything left for LeBron to prove? Why not just ride off into the sunset?
Because, once you're done forever, and you don't go back.
No,
and
we don't know that. Jordan came back 3 times.
He did, but that LeBron isn't Jordan.
Yeah.
We know that. We know that times 10. But LeBron's great, though. I mean, but no. I mean, I hear you. It's like he really doesn't have anything else to prove. I mean, he's done it all pretty much, and at this point, it would just be for shits and giggles, and because you miss the game so much, and it's like, well, what do I do now? I mean, I can buy businesses and do what Magic does, and own a bunch of fat burgers and car washes and movie theaters and, make my millions and millions, but it's not playing basketball, though. It's not the same.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing. As long as he's physically capable and playing, decent basketball, I think he'll probably play one more year. That's what I think.
I mean, I can see that, but there was a noticeable drop-off in his ability. Obviously, injuries and things like that happen at, again, he is 41, 42 years old.
Long in the tooth.
Yeah, like for basketball, that is ancient.
It's old, man.
Especially the running around you got to do in that
right?
sport.
Your knees.
But for me, it's like there's nothing to prove there. I know he was, put into the unenviable position of having to chase a ghost. That ghost being named Michael Jordan.
Yes.
And he won't get there, thank you. He won't get there, but it's that specter is going to be behind him. And if you look at it right now, he's got 4 championships.
He's great. How many guys have 4 championships?
That's still behind someone that was in that yellow uniform that he's currently wearing right now, who is still known as the Laker of all time.
The greatest point guard of all time, too.
You can't go around calling yourself the king. And again, it's not on him. He didn't give himself that nickname. But you can't go around with that nickname. You can't go around with all that stuff and be a middle-of-the-road championship-winning player, because you look at the greatest of all time. You look at Jordan, there's 6.
Yeah.
You look at Kobe and Shaq, there's
5.
5.
Yeah.
You look at Bird and Magic. I guess Bird only had 3. But Magic had 5. Like you have all of those ones right there.
Yeah.
LeBron is, as a basketball player, and don't kill me for this, internet, but LeBron as a basketball player is the best we've ever seen. Hands down. The way that he's big, fast, can control the ball, triple-double machine, just everything LeBron is the best all-around basketball player we have ever seen. The greatest scorer we ever saw was Michael Jordan. The biggest sociopath we ever saw that had to make up stories to go massacre a rookie's career was Michael Jordan. LeBron never had that Jordan mindset. But Jordan never had LeBron's skill set.
No, but I mean, we'll agree to disagree on that one, because I still think MJ is the greatest of all times, and I may be, biased, obviously, because I'm a huge Bulls fan and grew up watching Jordan play live, which I was very lucky about. But yes, I mean, we won't ever take away from his skill sets and whatnot. But I also think part of being the greatest of all time is what you've accomplished overall in your career in terms of your postseason acclimates, and of course, winning, going 6-0 in the finals, having to have a game 7. I mean, it goes on, and really never joining a super team, playing in different eras. I mean, having the competition, the type of competition that you had to play against. The greatest accomplishment in LeBron's career was going back to Cleveland and winning a championship and beating what would have been the greatest team of all time, the Warriors. That was 2015, right? I think
2016.
2016. Yeah. The team that won 73 regular season games won more than the 95 Bulls.
Yeah, they went 73-9, but didn't close out the championship, which has got to be that's got to be a chip on Steph Curry's shoulder, man.
That's
like,
rough, and have a 3-1 lead, and to lose Game 7 at home.
And that's what I was going to say.
That's tough.
You don't see that in basketball very often.
No.
And LeBron James was the reason that
Absolutely.
happened.
Well, and Kyrie was pretty damn good too.
Well, yes, but I mean,
series,
as soon as Draymond started, running off at the mouth to LeBron, and LeBron said, "We're not doing this anymore," and took the whole series over.
Yeah.
It became a completely different series. And like you said, Kyrie Irving was there. Kevin Love was doing a great job.
They had a great team.
It was a really good team.
And people were always, till the end of time, people are going to argue who's better, Jordan or LeBron. It's always going to be 1 and 1A.
And I'm going to throw one more in there.
Okay.
Jokic
is great. But you can't say he's, right now. Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, he still has more time to play, does he not? How many years has he played?
I want to say we're at 12 now.
You're not going to put him in the top 10, are you?
How can you keep him out of the top 10?
Well, there's a lot of great players, though, man.
There are a lot of great players. He's the only one at his size to average a triple-double twice for an entire season.
It's a good argument.
If you put Jokic,
but see,
Jokic is one of these dudes.
You know it as well. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Jokic is one of these dudes that if you plug him out and put him into any era, he is dominant.
No, I don't disagree with you there. I agree. I agree, but I'm disagreeing only in respect to, because you and I both know in the end, and it really shouldn't be based off of this solely, but it's how many rings do you have? He's got one. He's got one. It is, though, is it not?
Wilt had 2.
Yes. Still Wilt the Stilt. Didn't he score like 100 points in a game?
Yes. Jerry West is the effing logo and has 1.
I know.
Well, what are we doing?
No. I mean, and where does Jerry West, where do you rank him? Where do you rank Wilt? So I would be, okay, I'm going to give you this. I would say he's top 20, maybe 12, 13, he's top 20, but I will not put Jokic in the top 10. I will not put him in the top 10.
So he's got to win. He's got to win another championship. To be in the top 10.
It would help. Now, obviously, he still has some more gas in the tank. He's probably got 3-4 more years. Okay, and when it's all said and done, then it's easier to say, hey, where does this guy rank in NBA history? In terms of big men, if we're ranking just big men, I mean, yeah, he's top 1 or 2, 3. Shaq's up there. You think he's the best ever?
Well, no. I'll take the Wilt and Shaq argument as long as we're talking about just strictly big men.
Top 5, clearly.
But it makes me wonder, who's in your top 10, because most top 10s are dominated by big men, right? Yeah. I think normally in the top 10, whenever you think of guys that aren't big men, there's 4 that come to mind, which would be Jordan, LeBron, Magic, Kobe, Bird. Maybe Bird, but Bird to me is kind of on the outer edge of the top 10. And it's been sacrilege. I have left Larry Bird off my top 10.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. There's no way I could do that. I mean, and then of course, shut up. And then of course we got to put Curry in there. He's the greatest shooter we've ever seen.
I think what it is the top
Kobe,
the top 10.
Shaq.
The top 10 has to be fluid.
Yeah,
right. Because if you go with
what about Sir Charles, but he never won one.
That's what I'm saying.
He never won one.
And whenever you look at the pantheon of power forwards and stuff like that, Charles Barkley's maybe top 10 power, not top 5 power.
Yeah, he was pretty damn good,
But no, man, now you got me wanting to rank people. One of my favorite things doing. Just let's start ranking dudes, naming dudes. It's what we're doing on today's show, man. Let's talk about that big man argument. Whether Jokic is top 10 big men, because off the top of my head. And this is not in any particular order. Maybe I come up with an order later on. It's just off the top of my head right now. You have to have, with Jokic in here, right? You have to have Hakeem.
Mm-hmm.
You have to have Shaq. You have to have Kareem. You have to have Wilt, right? Now we start getting into the question mark people, right? Who else do we put in this list? We already know Jokic is on there.
Yeah.
Who else do we put in this list with him? Because are you going to say Patrick Ewing? Because there's 0 championships with Patrick Ewing. And I don't think his peak was as high as Jokic's peak.
No. Yeah, Ewing was great, but I don't know. I definitely wouldn't put him in the top 5 Are we talking top 5 or 10?
Well, so right now we have 5.
So I mean,
right?
I'm
so
Ewing.
if we do 10, then we put Ewing.
Yeah,
kind of,
Ewing maybe 9, 10. Like kind of on towards the end of the top 10.
David Robinson.
Oh, the big David Robinson. 9 maybe.
2 championships.
Yeah.
MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, scoring title.
Yeah.
And a
Duncan.
quadruple double.
Yeah.
But Duncan's not a 5.
Yeah. No, that's true.
We're only talking strictly 5.
Strictly 5s. Yeah.
Because I'm at the debate right now where I have 5. I got
It's
Jokic
funny
at
because
5.
David Robinson was always great. He was our original dream teamer, of course, but he really, if you think about it, boy, was he lucky that Duncan came on late in his career,
yeah.
or else he would have never won a championship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But again, I mean, you can say the same like with Shaq.
Sure.
If there's no Kobe, there's no championship.
Well, but then Shaq also won one with Miami.
That was a Dwayne Wade-led team. Let's not forget about that.
I want to give Dwayne the MVP. Remember that? I want to give Dwayne the MVP.
Speaking of leadership, how comfortable do you think LeBron James would be as a coach? We know that he would want to be the star player. Can that transfer into management?
Always.
No,
you don't think so?
We've seen it time and time again. Great players are not good coaches.
Really? So you think he's more? Yeah.
Magic wasn't good at it.
Terry, he was a bad coach.
Larry Bird wasn't good at it.
Yeah.
Jordan was a horrible owner / GM.
Sure.
Like because again, and maybe it sounds like we're glazing some of these dudes. They see the game so differently than everyone else does.
Yeah.
Whenever you talk about like Barry Bonds is like, how did you become the greatest hitter of all time, Barry? He's like, oh, well, you see the catcher's glove right here? You know the ball's got to go to the glove, so all I do is I just make my bat the glove. Okay, well, us regular people, we're not going to be able to do that.
Huh? Well, wait, what do you mean? We don't speak. I don't speak jive.
Yeah, right. Like I just don't. He's like, yeah. So you know the ball's going to go to the glove, so you just turn your bat into the glove.
Baseball jargon,
Oh, okay, cool,
I
Barry.
get it.
Thanks.
That's your baseball mind, though.
Imagine like you got LeBron James again, one of the greatest to ever do it, one of the best skill sets we have ever seen in a basketball uniform. Trying to tell the 8th guy on the bench, why didn't you make that pass? That was wide open right there. I could have made that pass. But you're one of the greatest of all time.
Sure.
I am not.
You have no choice. You have no reason for not doing it, you know. But no, I mean, you see LeBron definitely being affiliated.
I think he'll be like a co-owner.
Like a co-owner. I don't know about a commentator. I don't really see LeBron being such a great commentator per se,
And the same, like that was the same thing with Jordan. Whenever Jordan joined NBC as like one of their commentators, I don't know if you've seen this or not. He literally gets like 10 minutes to himself. Like it's just him and whoever the host of the show is at that time talking a little bit about X's and O's. And then they're like, yeah, well, we're not going to tell Jordan, his thoughts on what do you think in this game? Because it's the same thing with Brady. Remember Brady's first time commentating?
Yeah.
He had so much that he tried to get out there that it was overwhelming.
It was overwhelming.
Because the greatest of all time see the game so differently than everyone else does.
Sure. That's a good point. They do. They just have that mindset that we don't necessarily have because, that's why it makes Romo such a great color analyst by far.
And he is one of the greatest
He is
of all
one
time.
of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it wasn't on the field for us, right? The Cowboys, but he was great.
The greatest quarterback the Dallas Cowboys have ever had, and I will stand on that.
Well,
that is a hill I will die on.
I think you're crazy, as usual. But
statistically, there is not another Cowboys quarterback that holds a candle to what he's done.
You don't always look at the stats, though. You got to look at the championships.
So one guy wins a championship on a team of 52?
Aikman was pretty damn good, man, in the 90s,
Yeah, but he also had a single season throwing 20 more touchdowns.
Yeah, that's true.
That was an Emmitt Smith-led team. Emmitt Smith won those Super Bowls.
Yes, he did. It didn't hurt. Aikman did win the MVP, though, in Super Bowl 27, I think, right?
They always give it to quarterbacks. What are you saying, David?
No, I was about to say the thing that worked against Tony Romo was his own being able to stay healthy.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That not being able to handle a snap when
again, that was not a Tony
fumble
Romo
snap.
thing.
Remember that against Seattle?
God. Yes, I do.
No, but okay. Going back to what my original argument.
I was at church watching that and almost dropped a shit ton of expletives while at church.
I was so upset. I thought he was going to run it in. I really did, man. It was so close, but so far.
That's where you realize how slow he really is.
Yeah, it was like, dude, this guy's terrible. Anyways, no, but and what makes him a great commentator is his vast knowledge of the game and the way he's able to predict the plays ahead of time. I friggin' love that, you know?
I do love that. And the funny thing is, like, people hate on Tony Romo as a commentator for whatever reason. I do not understand it one bit because, he's got too much passion for the game. Yeah, he loves
Well, you're
football.
supposed to have passion for the game.
And
That's
then-
what makes
then
a great announcer.
Then he dials it back, and they're like, "Where's the passion? I want the passion.
Yeah. Why aren't you being the way you usually are? Like, you're all Michigan and all that, you know?
And that's the thing that I was like saying about Brady whenever they had it. Brady was so good that whenever he first started, people were going to hate on him just to hate on him because we want to see a flaw.
Yeah.
And that perfect human being, the one perfect human being God created after Jesus Christ himself, maybe. Like that guy right there, the one that was sent down to bless us with football.
Besides you?
Yes.
besides Michael Robert Tipton, the man, the myth, the legend that I know of here, you know, you're a funny guy.
So like they had to find something wrong with Tom Brady. It's you stuttered that one time for giving me analysis.
You said
yeah.
You said the word or whatever the word. If is considered a word, it's like a half a word or whatever.
I do like how Tom Brady's like kind of synced into this thing now, where he's just saying on Fox because he knows they're not going to tell him anything. He's like, oh yeah, he threw an absolute piss missile.
He's like, what are y'all going to do? Fire me?
Yeah. You're paying me $300 million.
I'm Tom effing Brady, you know, and I'm like the shit. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but you know, it's like God.
You'll never find anyone that's won more championships than me. So, hey, let's do it like that.
Truth.
Okay, so,
you know,
again, Brandon, we are live over here, 655 Sunland Park Drive on the west side of El Paso. Buffalo Wild Wings. The bottomless apps are back. You can't see it right now. Maybe I show you before the show's over. I'm bottomless right now.
Yes.
Brandon, tell everybody about what's going on.
Oh, my God. Bottomless appetizers. Look at this. $9.99. Mix and match. And then if you go over two, it's $2.99 a person. Mozzarella sticks, onion rings, fried pickles, hatch green queso, or hatch queso, I guess. And it's not green, not really green, guys. And chips and salsa. We're going to get some after this. We're going to get a little grease here. You can also do the premium for $12.99. Mix and match as well. You get cheese curds, guacamole if you want to. And, of course, you have your late night happy hour. Oh, my goodness. Check this out. Ready? 3 to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Also 9 to 11 every day. $6 appetizers and $3 shorty shots, $5 classic cocktails. Wow. Just wow, you know?
They got some amazing stuff out here. Buffalo Wild Wings, 655 Sunland Park Drive is where we come to do Fire and Ice most Saturdays. Not every Saturday, but most Saturdays we do it. And, Brandon, they have the Boozy Dunkin Cold Brew, the Dunkin coffee, which you know I absolutely love. Jameson Irish cream.
Ooh, I love Irish cream.
Kahlua Bailey's in that. You add a little bit of whipped cream. You put in a chocolate drizzle.
What
and you
was that?
add those Dunkin Sprinkles.
It was the best thing
Amazing.
I ever tried. What was that shtick we had that one time? That martini that they had for a minute. That was damn good.
It was like a chocolate
dessert?
like a chocolate
With
martini.
like caramel and all this
I've got
crap.
going
Is it still on there? Or no?
Going back to the menu, y'all. Let's see what I can find while I am looking at this because
some good, you know.
He
always orders all the good drinks. Remember, he ordered that martini for us.
I remember.
And then now he orders his boozy. I have yet to try the boozy thing. You say it's phenomenal.
It is great.
It is great. It's like a
I've
dessert
had it probably too
Boozy
many
Dunkin
times.
Cold
There
Brew.
we go. The salted caramel
There it is.
espresso martini.
There it is. Because I remember you
Yes.
kept seeing it, and you're like,
Yes.
"Oh, this looks good.
Yes.
Oh, this looks good. Let's get it."
And it was the first time you and I had high class drinks together. We drank it with our pinkies out. It was the way that we had to do it.
We were like the movie. What's that? Austin Powers with Dr. Bigglesworth. You know.
And one sip, it was,
$1
yeah,
billion.
baby.
It was 100%.
You had one. I had one, and Destiny had one.
Yes.
You
And
know,
it was a great drink.
It was pretty
It was
good.
a really good damn drink. I think I'm going to have to try
I
it
was
one
like
more time.
licking the glass. Remember?
You were.
Caramel all over my face. That's a sight we don't want to think of.
Actually, I want to think about it.
I want to think about it too. That's for another show.
The slow chocolate
Imagine
drizzle.
caramel all over my face. Now, what have you been eating, sir?
I don't know how to transition to what I wanted to talk about.
Not
so
a
now I've
caramel
got to
apple,
figure
that's
it
for sure.
The man with the orange hair wanted to transition into opening the port of Moo.
There we go. So I just saw right now, Brandon, and I got to get serious with this one because it is a very serious topic. But former Atlanta Braves manager Bobby Cox passed away earlier today. As a matter of fact, about 30 minutes ago is whenever that was announced.
This is the first time I'm hearing it.
And I was thinking about this with Bobby Cox and just that little bit of time right there. what a great job he did as a manager. He was a long-time manager for the Atlanta Braves.
Yes.
Winning that championship in 1996. They won, 13 straight division titles?
95, actually.
95.
Yeah,
That's
96,
right,
the Yankees won it,
yeah. So they go and they do all these things. Was there a better manager? Because you have to remember what the team that he had. Was there a better manager in baseball during the time that he was managing the Braves? Because as much as I love Joe Torre,
Jim Leland was great too.
Jim Leland was
he
really
won it in 97 with the Marlins. I mean, that's a great question. And I'm going to probably say not.
Because the 13 straight division titles.
Dude, Atlanta, if you watch baseball in the 90s, it was about the Atlanta Braves. They had one of the most dominant pitching staffs I can ever remember in baseball history, with Smoltz, Glavine, and so on Maddox. And damn, they were good. Every single year they were great.
Even like the batting order. So you got Chipper Jones, Andrew Jones. Like they had Rafael Furcal for a while.
And in 95, they beat the Indians in 7 games, right? I think it was in 7 games. And the Indians were really good. Wasn't that the Indians in the 90s? Because the Indians, am I thinking of the right team?
I thought the Indians lost to the Marlins.
Let's see. Who did Atlanta beat? Let's see.
Was it the Yankees?
It may have been. Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I'll have to figure this one out. Let's see. Let's go.
95 World Series. Oh, no. The hell? I said the Reds. I'm like, no, they didn't beat the Reds.
There's no way that happened.
Yeah. I think they beat. Hey, Jesus, why are they showing me this weird thing?
You talked about managers. Where do you rank Tommy Lasorda?
Yeah, they beat the Cleveland Indians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tommy Lasorda is a hell of a manager. I mean, Lasorda's, won how many World Series with the Dodgers? Two or three? Two?
Yeah.
Was it 70-something and 88? Right?
Yep.
I mean, Tommy Lasorda was a great manager. I mean, here's the thing about LA is LA has always been tremendous because they've been that big market team. They've been able to acquire the best of the best, the creme de la creme. But it takes quite a manager to be able to, control all those egos. And LA has always been full of egos. But I think Tommy Lasorda is a tremendous manager. Everybody loved Tommy Lasorda in LA.
Oh, yeah.
Unknown story or a little known story. Maybe people, the old heads in El Paso would remember this. But Tommy Lasorda actually did a commercial for Jim Paul and the El Paso Diablos.
Oh, cool.
To pass the needed votes for them to get Cohen Stadium
built.
built.
That is freaking awesome.
And he volunteered to do that commercial for Jim Paul because of the respect he had for Jim
awesome,
Paul.
Man,
wow.
And he also got Fernando Valenzuela to be a part of these commercials and stuff like that as well.
That's cool.
So it was awesome seeing
So
stuff
I'll never forget my grandpa and I, my late grandpa Hershey and I, I think it was 95. We went to see the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine, and they may have been playing the Braves. I mean, it was a great game. We had great seats, and I'll never forget Tommy Lasorda went out to argue a call, and it was like 50,000 people. Tommy. It was a great. I was like, man, that was the greatest. I remember that as a kid. That really resonates in my brain. You know what I mean?
One of the coolest things for me being in the position that I'm in now with Mountain Star Sports Group is whenever the manager goes out to argue a call, I am on his side no matter how wrong he might be. I am like, this guy, he knows what he's looking for, man.
He's sharp. He's never wrong.
ABS, what the hell is that?
They argue with the umpire all day long. It doesn't matter. This guy's actually right this time,
100%. 1,000%.
That's funny.
But have you seen the ABS stuff, Brandon?
No.
The automated ball strike system that baseball has. We've been using it a couple of years here in AAA baseball with the El Paso Chihuahuas. And it, balls and strikes. It tells you whether it was the actual call. You only get 2 challenges during the game while you're doing your thing. The funny thing about it is they've now introduced the ability to challenge check swings.
Yeah,
nobody's done it yet. At least in the week that we've had right now in AAA baseball, because it's just AAA baseball that's trying it out right now as far as the check swing thing goes. But if I were to tell you that we have now defined a check swing as any swing that is purposeful over 46-degree angle, do you think you'd be able to define that as a human being?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. That's a great question.
And I'm like, 90's right here if I'm going right in front of me. Perpendicular to what I'm doing. So 45 would be about there, right?
I think.
And if you're batting, that's a
strike. I swung at it.
I swung at it.
You got to be able to bring it back a little bit.
A little bit. But if you go over that little imaginary line, then it's clearly you swung at it.
And then one of the things that's interesting is I don't know if you remember as a kid playing Little League or anything like that, but they always said like a check swing was a strike if it passed the front of the plate. Well, the front of the plate would be 90 degrees in front of your bodies and then 45, so now you cut it in half.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
maybe I'm just some guy that never knew what a check swing was.
Well, maybe he was a putz, obviously. He obviously was if he doesn't know what the hell a check swing was, for crying out loud,
But, yeah, like I'm surprised I haven't seen anybody challenge a check swing just yet because I think no one really knows what the definition of it's going to be. And I have seen a lot of people just not check swing at all. Like just kind of sit there and like take it. Like it's interesting the way that it's kind of gone down. But that's enough of me talking about baseball. You know me, I love me some baseball. David brought this up a little while ago, and I've been trying to just stay away from this subject because you guys already know how I feel. Aaron Rodgers, once again stringing along the Pittsburgh Steelers. I don't know if you know this or not, Brandon, but Aaron Rodgers played for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year.
I heard that.
Did you know that earlier this week he had to have a visit with the team to see what he thought about the team that he played on last year?
Well, I mean, why am I not surprised, as cuckoo as he is?
Should Aaron Rodgers continue?
I mean, sure, why not? As long as he can still play. But he's got a lot of issues, that guy.
Issues.
If they're willing to keep him, then yes, he should continue playing.
And the other answer is you follow the money. If he's a box office draw, then the team does financially.
I mean,
well.
they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna let him go just because of who their head coach is now.
I don't. So I think there's two different things there, right? Like Aaron Rodgers is not a box office draw. No one in Pittsburgh is buying tickets to go to the Steelers games to see Aaron Rodgers. Maybe they're buying some jerseys, but this year, given the way that he played last year, the way that he kind of strung the team along in the offseason last year, I don't know that I've seen a lot of Aaron Rodgers jerseys being sold. I've got to check out how much merch was out there.
So he was a draw last season, but not this because of
he wasn't
lack of performance.
He wasn't even a draw last season.
Wow.
Yeah, because it did alienate a lot of the fan base. It alienated a lot of players on the team. Whenever he said, "Well, maybe I'll go with you, but maybe I won't, and if I do go with you, it'll be at this time." But I got to go to a darkness
retreat. How do you work
retreat.
with that?
And that's what I'm asking, right? Like, when does the juice, or like the juice, not worth the squeeze when it comes to Aaron Rodgers?
There you go.
Because for me right now, you were with that team last year, and I get it. Mike McCarthy's a new head coach. The rest of the roster is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
You have to have a meeting with a guy that you won a Super Bowl with in order to determine whether or not you want to go play for the team that you were with last year.
Well, that's the way he is. We know he's a little nuts. He really is. And I mean, it seems like he's gotten worse as he's gotten older too. I mean, I don't think it's just a casual observation to think that the guy's become more OCD or whatever it is,
I mean, ayahuasca must be a hell of a drug. Again, Aaron Rodgers. Anytime you want to do ayahuasca with your boy, I'm down. Yeah. But I'm just, I don't understand this entitlement, for lack of a better term, of where you think that you can go around and dictate to an NFL franchise whether or not you want to be their quarterback. Where this NFL franchise could just say, I will draft somebody, I can trade to get somebody. There's some free agents out there that you can get that are more than likely going to give you exactly what Aaron Rodgers gets at less money.
He's not that great anymore. Yeah. I mean, he's not, and it's like, what is the true benefit of having him? That's the thing. If he were a tremendous draw, then I could see why you would want to keep him. But unfortunately, he's not what he used to be. He's not the QB he was a few years ago.
The NFL to me is so different than a lot of other teams because I don't think NFL fans buy tickets to games to see specific players outside of Travis Kelce because of what comes with him and his girlfriend.
Right.
But as far as the rest of the stuff goes, like if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm going to a Cowboys game for the Cowboys. If the Cowboys, had Tom Brady or something like that, that's just an added benefit of me being a Cowboys fan and they had Tom Brady. I'm not buying a ticket because of who's wearing the damn jersey. I'm buying a ticket because I love the team. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like the NFL is different in that aspect. If it's baseball, yeah. Let's say the Rockies or someone get Aaron Judge. Maybe I go, buy a Rockies ticket and watch Aaron Judge or something like that. The same thing with the Spurs. Spurs get LeBron. Maybe I go buy a ticket to watch the Spurs with like LeBron in a Spurs jersey. The NFL's not that way, I don't think.
No, it's a different animal. It really is. It is, and you have a lot more loyal fans and the respect that they're going to follow their team and be diehards, whether their team has won a Super Bowl recently, or Cowboys, excuse me, within the last 30 years or whatever, or whether they stink every single year. You're just the Cowboys. You're just
no. They don't stink. They're bad, but they're never bad enough to be terrible, and they're good, but they're never good enough to be great.
Super Bowl contenders.
They just live in the world of purgatory that the Dallas Cowboys have encompassed over the last 30 years. I am sure Jerry Jones sold his soul for those first 3 Super Bowls in 4 seasons, and we have just been reaping the benefits of that for the last 30 years.
And look at how late it took Jerry to admit that he finally needed adequate defense, as reflected by the
good
latest
defensive
draft.
coordinator now, at least.
I mean,
I like that kid.
It was much better than what they had, and all y'all tried to convince me that Matt Eberflus was going to be the opposite.
Not. No,
Yeah,
he got fired on Thanksgiving for crying out loud.
Yeah, there you go.
How
You know
thankful were the Bears about him?
how bad you have to be fired on Thanksgiving? I'm terrible at my job, and I haven't been fired on Thanksgiving yet.
Thank you.
Yet, and that's the caveat. Yet, there's still time.
Maybe Hanukkah or something, but Thanksgiving. I mean, geez, give a better day for crying out loud. Right? It's like, geez. There's 8 days at least, right?
Right.
Yeah, you got multiple days. You get fired on.
Yeah, 8
You get
days.
fired on the last day of Hanukkah.
Right.
That's
It makes
just
you
good.
feel at least you got to celebrate
Yeah.
the first 7 days.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm watching the TVs over here because, again, Buffalo Wild Wings, ton of sports going on all over the place. We've got what looks like ESPN
Axe throwing.
show, axe throwing going on.
Softball.
We have ACC softball.
We got
championship.
Liberty. You got a
between-
CUSA team up here.
Exactly, and that's what I was going to talk about. Conference USA. The University of Texas El Paso is in Conference USA
Formally.
for now.
Kind of, yeah.
They're
gonna get killed
that
in the
weird
Mountain
part.
West,
Yeah,
aren't they?
whenever they go to the Mountain West,
They're
it's
going
not
to
going
get
to be
killed.
good.
It's next year, I believe.
It's not going to be good. And it's going to be the remnants of the Mountain West.
to be very ugly.
It always is whenever it comes to the University of Texas El Paso.
It's like what CUSA was when they first got there. It was the semi-remnants. It actually was a pretty good conference.
I
If you think
remember,
about it,
like they had
you know,
SMU, they had Cincinnati, Memphis. Yeah, like they had some.
Well,
pretty
Cincinnati
good-
had just left.
Had they just left? at that
Cincinnati had
time?
just left.
Okay,
They were
okay.
never there when UTEP was there. But I mean, the fact that they had Memphis was tremendous because Memphis was always really good at basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, they almost won a national championship in
Yeah.
08 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Mario
they had.
Chalmers, right?
Sorry.
Mario Chalmers.
Yeah, he beat him
Okay.
with Kansas. Yeah, he
Yeah.
killed him.
So
Well, that would have been that would have been which is the stupidest thing in sports history is where you have to take away a championship because of academic purposes or whatever. So that would have been nullified regardless if they had won it that year.
Oh, because of okay. Yeah,
because somebody was ineligible or whatever. I don't.
I'll say
somebody was
Derrick
being-
Rose.
It
Wasn't
was
it?
he was being paid under the table.
Yeah. All that little fun stuff there. But okay, the University of Texas at El Paso, leaving over now to the Mountain West, leaving Conference USA as I think Jack State just won the Conference USA softball championship. Good for them.
Heck yeah, they're
Jacksonville
good.
State.
They're good. They've dominated CUSA, haven't they? I think.
Softball wise,
Well, no, softball wise, yeah, but it's been Liberty actually. They beat Liberty. Liberty's been good,
Liberty Bibberty.
But yeah, they look tough. I mean, I thought Liberty had a shot in this game.
I mean, they did. It was 7-4, so it was. It was
what
close.
the hell? I'm like, yes.
Yeah. You know what? You come to Fire and Ice to lead you in softball knowledge. I do like the jersey colors that Liberty has.
They're
right
cool.
now. I do like that color. It reminds me of Socorro High School, where I went. My alma mater, Socorro High School. Very similar color scheme that they've got going with them right there. But you kind of alluded to it. But UTEP going to the Mountain West. That's going to start this upcoming football season. What should the level of expectations for UTEP fans be, knowing now, armed with the knowledge of 115 years of college football being played behind us, that they average 3 wins a season? This past season, they got 2.
Yeah.
Going forward, it ain't going to look pretty.
No, because it's a tougher conference. I mean, it's not, it's just better competitions and whatnot. And ultimately, it's not going to get any prettier. I say still about 2, 3 if you're lucky. And that's if you're lucky, I mean, it's going to be rough. Let's put it that way.
What does UTEP need to do in order to become
Relevance?
Yeah.
Pay everyone a shitload of money.
I mean,
Get people
it can't just be that,
get
because
people to donate money. Now it is about that. Yes.
the pockets for UTEP are not ever going to be as deep as it is.
So
with
what you
Tech.
asked me, my opinion, and I gave you my
Okay.
complete
You're
answer.
right. Yeah.
And it's really comes down to that. It's like, what could they ever do? Have bigger more significant, influential friends of the program that are willing to donate a la Texas check money, $300 million, like you said, to where their football and basketball programs are going to be great for many years to come. Unless you have people like, let's say, the Hunts or something, willing to donate gazillions of dollars, then you're never going to be relevant. I hate to be so honest, but I'm going to be honest. And you know me, I don't care. I'm not going to hold back.
In spite of John Teifershear's efforts to try and make football relevant by saying, tune in for the possibility of hell freezing over.
I mean, there is always that possibility, right? Like, hell could just freeze over, and then UTEP will be a championship contender.
Before the whole they were paid legally, because everybody's always getting paid illegally, we know, it was always a tough sale because you're like one of the worst teams in the state of Texas, right? Well, now you're still one of the worst teams in the state of Texas, and you have no money. So how do you convince anybody that's worth a darn to play here and have a winning organization? Honestly, or a program, I should say.
That is the more difficult challenge for UTEP, is knowing that, one, your donor base, like they do have a small.
I mean, there's people that help out.
Donor base that is extremely loyal, a small fan base that is extremely loyal, but that doesn't translate into wins and losses, and that's what everyone here wants, are the wins and losses. I look at this team, and I don't know if I see potential. I don't know what I see when I look at the University of Texas El Paso's football team, basketball teams, anything of that nature, other than volleyball. We know volleyball is going to be good.
It's great with
but
Ben
volleyball
Wallace.
Isn't a moneymaker.
It isn't. No one. It's not to say people do care about it, but you just don't make any money.
Yeah.
You're not making football and basketball money. That's where your biggest revenue comes from, is football and basketball, clearly.
And again, like if you don't know, maybe I'm pulling the curtain back too much, whatever. But the TV deal that UTEP gets whenever they join the Mountain West isn't as lucrative as some of these other major conferences are, because no streaming platform out there really cares about the Mountain West.
No,
it's a dying conference where the better teams are leaving to bigger conferences.
Right.
And now you've got to worry about, okay, their TV deal is up in 2027. So UTEP gets a single season of what their existing TV deal is right now. And then the Mountain West TV deal is in limbo right now. And there's talks of it being on YouTube because they don't have a buying partner just yet.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. It's not good. It's not good. It's not prosperous times, unfortunately. And that's what you really need to worry about, is a program that just could use all the help they could get. But for the fan base, it's where you've literally had 2 to 3 wins, let's say 3 wins a year for years, it's not going to get any easier.
No.
It really isn't. It's not.
A little bit later on today, here at Buffalo Wild Wings, they will have some UFC action going on as Chimaev takes on Strickland.
Yes.
I just read those names. I don't know who they are.
You did good. It's going to be a good fight. And also Van against Tara. That's the co-main. So you got 2 big fights tonight. I mean, how about UFC 250 next month from the White House? We definitely have to promote that with our pal.
That's right. And the new ballroom has to be completed for that event to happen.
Oh, yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah, we'll see.
Security is everything.
Yeah, 1,000%. The $400 million ballroom that we weren't going to pay for, but now we got to pay for. That's a different topic for another time. Don't bring that up to me, Brandon. You're my UFC guy.
I am.
What can you tell me about this?
Well, I mean, it's going to be a great fight. You got Strickland. Strickland's, he's a legend. It's going to be a tremendous bout. I'm looking for it. I think Strickland wins. I say he's going to win by submission in round 3. It's going to be a good one. This is a loaded card. It really is. But. I think he's going to utilize his grappling skills. I think he's also going to utilize his boxing skills. But I think he's the better of the 2 fighters. So I think Strickland wins it in 3 rounds, I say,
What can you tell me about Van and Tiara?
Well, that's a good co-main event. Van, certainly a lot of experience. But I think Tiara is going to be, she's, the less ranked fighter, Tiara, rather. But I think that that's going to be a decision. I think that's going to be a decision, a unanimous decision. I think Tiara is victorious in this one.
Hey, look at that. Fun times. I'm probably not going to watch it because I'm going to be out of Southwest University Park with the El Paso Chihuahuas today. We have a fireworks spectacular. If you don't have your tickets, go ahead and get them now. They're selling out quickly to get that standing room only area out there. We got the best fireworks in town.
They are pretty
Hands
damn good.
down.
They are pretty
Hands
amazing.
Down. Hopefully we'll see you all out there. Everybody, I want to thank you so much for tuning into today's show. You got anything you want to say, Brandon?
I'll miss you next week.
Oh,
I'm looking forward to my brother getting married in Milwaukee. And Bill Wennington's going to be there, Bulls legend, and it's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to meeting Bill.
Legend is a bit of a stretch, but I'll go with you on that one. Bill is my guy, friend of the show, has been on the show before with us, so that's a good time out there. Brandon, hope you have a great weekend.
Thank
David,
you.
as always, thank you so much. Everyone out there, thank you so much. We will see you all next time.